Hey, Rob, and hello everyone. It's Julian Crypto, and today we are talking about SEC and ETFs and Bitcoin. Will Bitcoin go up or down? What do you think? What do you believe right now? Do you believe that it will be accepted?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. And yeah, for the crypto market these days, nobody knows. And it's a funny thing because we've had it's been rammed down our throats that the ETF is going to happen. And it probably will. Let's be honest, it's inevitable. It will happen at some point. And when it does happen, the question then becomes: is this a buy the rumor, sell the news type of thing? And when I hear about that, and I think to myself, it really does come down to a time horizon. Because think of it this way: like when we talk about is it going to go up or is it going to go down, over the long haul, it's going to go up, and it's going to go up probably a lot. But if you're a trader out there, enjoying your audience might be more trader oriented, which is great. My audience is more of like a buy and hold type of thing. This is a trading event. You might want to look at that buy the rumor, sell the news. We might see. Actually, we just saw it last night when the tweet went out from the SEC, which was hacked, and it said, "Yeah, we approved it, and then now we do it. Now we didn't." So we saw a big spike go like this, and a big spike go down like that. So if you want to play it that way, sure. Me personally, I think that over the long time horizon, especially going into 2025, as we hit the halving, we're going to see some major movement. So I think it's going to go up, but it could be wrong. So plan accordingly. If you're a trader, stop losses, of course, are in effect, and go from there. What do you think, Julian? Where are you at here?
Basically, I'm more into ETF than opposite. I believe that it will happen today, but maybe I am wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, and I'm prepared for both situation, also up and down. As you said, halving. This will be a huge event in the next couple of months in April 2024.
True.
First big event, of course, is ETFs, and the third huge event this year declines in US interest rates probably this year. So for three really important events for Bitcoin price in the long term, and in the long term, I'm really bullish. I was bullish since the January, from the beginning of this year, and since August.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what do you think about the current situation? And for example, if for example, Bitcoin ETFs will be approved, do you speculate on Ether or something like this for altcoins?
For altcoins, it usually goes like this, and I think most of us know this. Julian, you're probably your audience. Everything flows through Bitcoin first, and with an ETF, that's where the big money goes to. Because if you look at what the big money is doing, it's not about how much they make; it's about how much they keep. So even if you are a billionaire and you can put in $100 million or $10 million or something like that, and it goes up to 20 million, I'm sure you'd be pretty happy. But what if you get rug pulled? That's essentially what happened to Mark Cuban. He came into the crypto space and he kind of dabbled into first Bitcoin, then went into iron finance, then he got rug pulled for a huge amount of money, not like 10 million or 100 million, but enough. So I think the smart money goes, you know what? It doesn't, to them, a 2% movement is a big deal because they're traditional finance. To them, getting into bonds at 2, 3, 4, 5% is a smart decision because they can it's pretty much automatic money. So when they get into Bitcoin, they will so first. And I think that's when we're going to see the Bitcoin dominance go up. I can see a lot of money flowing into that. But then you're going to see a shift a little bit of the people that look at this and go, okay, well, if this is Bitcoin, it always happens. If this is Bitcoin right now and it's going great, what is the next Bitcoin? Because everybody's looking for the next big thing. So at some point, some of these people, I'm not saying all, I mean, if you have a massive amount of money, you're not really going to, or you could gamble a little bit and it's not going to really kill you. but at some point they're going to get into altcoins. The first one will probably be Ethereum. And we've been talking, a lot of different institutions saying that the Ethereum ETF is right around the corner. Some people even said that an XRP ETF is right around the corner. And the reason for that is because Ripple beat the SEC in their court case. And of course, now it's one of the few crypto or digital assets that are out there that has a little legal clarity as opposed to most everything else. So you can kind of see it go that way. And then maybe a little Bitcoin Cash because people are not for sure. So I can see it flowing into alts. And then of course, there's going to be people like us, but like, well, what about some more degenerate plays? What if we get into like number 100 through 150? What if we go into like the AI plays, like a hypercycle or a render or something like that? Sure, that'll happen. But I again, everything flows through Bitcoin first, and then down to the large caps, and then smaller caps, and then people will sell those and then get right back into the large and to Bitcoin.
Really interesting. And look at if for last, couple of hours, just after this false situation about acceptance and not decline, but after false acceptance of ETFs, if to BTC plus 8%. And it's really interesting because, I'm focusing on if probably since December. And I'm really curious, I'm really curious how it will behave if ETF on Bitcoin will be accepted. Also, I'm curious how XRP will behave, because it has also, as you said, a huge potential to be accepted and a huge potential to grow.
Yeah, it does.
Especially, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
If we analyze how BTC, this way of Bitcoin, 3 months, it all started with also false rumors about ETFs being accepted, and it was posted by you probably remember that Cointelegraph, right here, somewhere right here, false rumors, and BTC went up otherwise.
You're right. You know what else is a good chart to pull up is gold. I don't know if you can pull that up.
Yeah, of course, I will show you.
But pull it up from 2003.
Yeah, I know this chart very well.
Sure.
I was posting it even today. And yeah, I will show you gold ETF.
And while we're on this subject, we're waiting. It is interesting today to see what's going to happen with the SEC and how they're going to come out and say what they plan to do with this hack. Apparently, there is a review board for Twitter or for X. If you go to x.com/safety, I think it is. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Yes. Let's talk about ETF on gold, and then we'll talk about this safety.
Yeah. So the gold
right here.
Yeah, the ETF I think was November. It was November 2004. I can't remember the exact date.
It was March 2003.
Okay.
Exactly, it was 28th of March. I remember something like this.
So we can see, and then if we go back, we see it was pretty much sideways. For quite some time. And then of course the ETF comes in and we have this massive bull run, all the way up to this point, probably to the Great Recession, which 2008, 2007, beginning somewhere around there. And of course, everything took a big hit. But imagine that. Imagine if we could have like a 4-year essential bull run. But now that we're in it, look at that. Yeah, that point right there where it had a peak. I bet if you were investing into gold at that point and you saw it pull back, if you were there, if you were living during that time and you were buying gold, you probably look at this and go, oh, that's it. That was the run. And now we go down to the original levels. But it had a pullback, a pretty substantial one, I would say. And then it goes on to these monster rallies. And I think it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Bitcoin. I mean, when I was in 2017, and it went up from 1,000 to 8,000, and then had a big drop off. I'm like, oh, that's it. And then of course it went up to almost 20,000, 19,006, somewhere around there. And then of course we thought it would go to the moon. And then it has this massive drop down to like $5,000, $3,000. And at that point, when you're living in it, you don't really see it. You don't really feel it, because you're there and you're like, crap, this is it. This it keeps going down. But if you just stick around, look at the massive gains you could have. I'm sure people sold a ton of gold when it dropped off the cliff. I know a lot of people sold in 2018. A lot of people sold in 2022. I think it's going to happen again and again and again. So,
yeah, huge capital is going into the Bitcoin market, and I calculated once that it will be around from 80 billion to 300 billion after ETFs will be accepted. It was my calculations, not from some Reuters or Bloomberg, but they calculated similar. I guess 70 billion.
Mm-hmm.
They believe that will flow into the market, right?
Right. Well, yeah, that's essentially it. And then of course, because it's an odd thing, because as more money flows into the gold market, what usually happens, and this is any product out there, once money flows into that product, then they start to produce more of it. So money flows into gold. That revenue flows into mining. Mining increases the amount that actually gets mined and can be produced, and we pull it out. People will say all the time, yeah, but gold is scarce. Gold is scarce, but we don't know how much is out there. So it's not finite. With Bitcoin, it is not scarce. It is finite. There's only 21 million. So even if we have like $1 billion into the market cap, that is an exponential gain in the overall price, because nothing can go up. And that was one of the things that I had a hard time wrapping my head around. I'm like, why, if we put in like 500 million, a billion, 2 billion, why does it go up so much? It's because you can't keep increasing it. It's stuck at 21 million. And that's not counting the 4 to 6 million that's already been lost from roughly a million Bitcoin in the Satoshi wallet, and 2, all the people that have lost their Bitcoin along the way, that are just stuck in some hardware computer in some random landfill garbage. So it's an interesting time, that is for sure. So if that much flows in, I'll be pretty happy.
Yeah, it will be really interesting. So you are in the market since 2017 or 2013?
2017. I heard. Here's a good story. So my son comes home from school, and this was and he says, "Hey, I got a classmate who's selling 500 Bitcoins for $500." And I looked at him and I said, "What the hell is a Bitcoin?" And when you first hear about Bitcoin, you're like, it's decentralized, and it's a finite supply, and that's exactly what he said. But it's hard to like kind of really explain it. And I was like, Alan, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That'll never take off. It'll get banned, and it doesn't make any sense. You know what year? That was 2012 when that happened. 2012. I could have had 500 Bitcoin for $500. So I didn't get back into it until 2017. Mm-hmm. For some reason, that was the year, and then of course I bought in at, I remember it was about $8,500, because it went from $1,000 to $8,500, and I'm like, number goes up. I should probably get into this. And then of course it all kind of collapsed. But I will say though that for everybody who invests into Bitcoin this time around, even the ETFs and things like that, the people don't understand really what it is. I don't understand what it was in 2012. Even if I would have bought Bitcoin back then, I would have sold it when it doubled. I know it, because I didn't understand what it was. I'm just like, who cares? It doubled. I'm happy. But now that we understand that it's finite, It's essentially gold 2.0, if you want to think of it like that. It's a method of transaction. And of course, it's a decentralized product that isn't at the whims of the government for quantitative easing or massive money printing. And it's believed by a lot of people throughout the world. I think it could do pretty well. And once you understand those types of things and you compare it to what the costs are over time because of inflation, you'll understand why Bitcoin is needed so badly.
Yeah, I understand, and I agree with you 100%. And we went into the crypto market at similar point. I guess because you told me about 2013, somewhere here, that your son told you about 500 BTC. And I had similar situation in 2013. And but I asked my friend, who was a pro trader, right, somewhere right here, hey man, hey buddy, what do you believe about Bitcoin? This might be the future of money. So, and he was a pro trader, so he told me, no, I don't buy it because I don't understand it, and I do not invest in things that I don't understand.
Right.
So lucky for me, I decided to not invest in BTC at that time, and I was really happy when it started to fall in, and pretty unhappy when it started to rise in. And then somewhere right here at 3,000, I decided to buy Bitcoin for the first time.
Excellent.
And it was a pretty good time for me. And what is really interesting right now is that we will face the third huge institutional event probably this year, today or in a few months.
Sure.
Bitcoin spot ETFs. A previous event, institutional event, was when Coinbase was listed on NASDAQ right at the top in 2021, right at the top, at the ideal peak. And previous peak in 2017, also institutional acceptance of Bitcoin futures on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, right at the top also. So it is really interesting how right now Bitcoin will behave, but many things might suggest that there will be some maybe pullback. Also, El Salvador legalizing Bitcoin right here at the top just before it dumped. And there was many more different events that shaped Bitcoin's price.
That was true. And it's amazing how we see the ebbs and flows of the market itself. And of course, as it goes up, there's just a jubilation, and people always think to themselves, okay, it's going to go up forever. And then when we see like a bear market, like in 2022, we think, okay, that's it. It's going to be dead and we're never going to see it again. So I was listening to Preston Pish, and he made a good point. He said, if you look at Bitcoin in a 4-year time frame, no matter where it is, even if you pick the top of any 4-year time frame and move yourself out, you're going to be up, and you're going to make pretty massive gains. And he says, if we can realize that instead of being like more of the short-sighted trader, there's a lot of massive gains to be made. Here's an example. Me and my wife we were mostly into real estate before crypto. So in 2020, when I was, dabbling, I got into crypto in 2017, doing a lot of things with crypto later as far as dollar cost averaging. But then, of course, an opportunity came up. There was a condo for sale here on the beach here in Puerto Rico, and it was $260,000. So okay, let's do that. That was July 24th, 2020. So we bought this condo, nice place, put it on for short-term rental for Airbnb. If I would have put that, and then of course now we're going to sell it for $305,000, because after so much time we're like, yeah, let's just get rid of it. It's that time. There's some good offers, and it's kind of a hassle with the short term. If we would have put that $260,000 into just Bitcoin, not like Ethereum or Binance or anything else. Let's just, stick to the basics. At the peak, it would have been worth $1.8 million. And even today, it would be worth over $800,000. So when we take a look at like the things that we're investing into, just be careful for everybody listening, that there are some diversification is great. I diversify still, but there are some asymmetrical bets, and I think crypto is one of them. Bitcoin being the leader.
Yeah, I heard from one of your videos, it was one of your last videos, that you told that you don't want to become wealthy, become rich fast. Yes?
Yeah.
You want to do it slow. And I totally accept it, and I totally agree with that. When to become rich, when to make money, don't hurry up. Make it slow, make it think about it, think about strategy. So what do you believe will be the next game? Or maybe it will be BTC, of course, but besides BTC, do you have any coins that you held? Or
yes,
because I'm not holding, I'm not holding more than BTC and ETH right now, to be honest.
It's a smart play. My portfolio was essentially 75% Bitcoin. Actually, no, I take that back. Now the value is around 70% because Solana went up so much in a very short amount of time. So I own a ton of different altcoins, but it's in the low percentages. And I just kind of like hedge my bet. Do I think that these altcoins are going to change the world and going to be super fantastic? Maybe, I don't know. But the ones that I've gotten into, I'll show. Let me bring up my list of my massive list of S coins, as everybody says. Let me see. Portfolio. So, all right.
You can share. You want to share your screen, right?
No, not. I don't want to show.
I thought that you want to share your screen.
No, I don't, because this one it has my my holdings and how much I hold, and but I'll tell them to you guys. So it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and of course again 70 and 10, and then the next one would be Solana, Avalanche, Cardano, Dogecoin, Polygon, Chainlink, Atom, Near, Arbitrum, Optimism, Algorand, Stacks, Theta, Sui, Optimism, Render, and some other ones. I'll just leave it like that because it gets a little bit crazy as we go down. Now, again, these are like, they could be 1%, they could be 0.05%. I've been in this field since 2017 again. So there's a lot of accumulations of just coins I just never got rid of. But in this next cycle, I will be getting rid of 80% of all my crypto. Bitcoin, I'm looking at, I'm debating that one. But the rest of them, they all got to go.
So are you planning to do some moves in the next couple of months or in the next couple of years, besides that you just told us?
So the thing is it's a funny thing because beforehand, long time ago, it was just about saving money and putting in a bank, right? You work real hard and you save your money, you put it in a bank, and you work at a company for 30 years, you get a pension, you retire, live out your existence. That does not happen anymore. It just isn't. And then of course, if we take a look at fiat, the US dollar is one of the safer currencies out there, obviously, but it has its problems. And of course, we just saw that with the money printer. So for me, I look at assets and investing like this. I will never be able to stop investing if I want to keep ahead of inflation. So even when I do these things, even when I sell my crypto, what am I going to do? Just sit on a pile of cash as the US government prints out massive amounts of dollar bills and spreads them around. And of course, it decreases my purchasing power. No, I can't do that. But I do know one thing. and that is that. Well, I know two things. The U.S. government will never stop printing dollars. It's just the way it is. They're screwing all of us. And the second thing I know is that if we look at the 4-year cycles, there's always the same thing. There's a huge run up, and people will say that it's never going to stop. It's going to keep going up forever. And every single time they're wrong. So when it goes all the way up, it gets overheated. It's because the mentality of the individual investor or the trader, whoever else it is, has far exceeded the capability of the technology. In 2017, I heard from everybody Bitcoin's going to 1 million. And of course, I'm like, well, I'll just stick around until it gets to 1 million. But they didn't tell me it's going to take me till 2030 or 2040. So again, I think we'll have these run up where things get massively overheated. You can stick around if you want to. That's what some people do. But for me, when it gets overheated, I'm going to take some profits out. I'm going to sit on some cash and maybe diversify into something else with some of my other businesses.
And what are the metrics that you are following? Are you following some metrics, on-chain data, exchange data?
So with this one, in the beginning, in my 2021 exit strategy, I just was like, okay, I have to have a plan. And I don't know what you guys, what your subscribers are, what their plans are. You watching, I don't know what your plan is. But my first plan was just to use fractals, which was not a great idea. But it worked out okay. So I took a look at like, well, what did Bitcoin do? This is in 2021. I took a look at 2017. How much did Bitcoin go up? Okay, it went up essentially from 1,000 to 20,000, that's a 20x. So maybe we can go, like a 5x or a 6x or 7x. So I thought that Bitcoin would go up to 150,000, and I based it on that. I said, okay, for every increment it goes, I'm going to sell at, when it hits to 20,000, I'm going to sell 20%. When it hits 40,000, I'll sell 20%. When it goes to 60,000, 20%, and so on and so forth. And it worked out okay, but not great. The only ones that I nailed wasn't Bitcoin. It was Theta. Theta I thought would go to $15 $10 and went far above that. And Cardano I thought it would go to 3 and it went to 297. But everything else I got wrong. Everything else. But thankfully I had the 20% to say like take profits here, profits here. But I still screwed up. Because I thought, well, if it did a 5x, it'll probably do a 10x. If it did a 10x, it'll probably do a 100x, which was stupid looking back. Now, what I'm looking at is, let me see. Let me share my, I'll share my screen on this one. Let me pull this up. Share screen, window. Of course. Can you see what's called a gold ETF now?
This is gold, yes?
Yeah, this is not what I want to show you. Actually, I have this, I'll just use the easy one, the sell indicators. So there's a free website for everybody. I know if you're a trader, this is very, very super simple, but I like to keep it simple for my followers. There's a couple of things I'll take a look at. The NUPL. So the NUPL is derived from the MVRV, or the market value and realized value. It takes the price of each Bitcoin with last moves, and it kind of corresponds to where is a good buying area. So like this wasn't a bad time to buy. December 16, 2018, November 26, 2018, and March 4, 2019. Not bad. And of course the same thing over here. Then when it heats up, you might want to take some profits long here. So I'm going to use, this will be one that I'll use. And then also I like the high cycle top. It uses the 111-day moving average crossed over the 350-day moving average times 2. And this is a retrospective chart. It did pretty well in 2013, 2017. Did okay in 2021. It actually hit it around 57, 59,000, somewhere around there. So not too bad. But then let's see. This one is another one I want to use. So I used 7 or 8 different indicators, and one of those would be time and risk bands. This is from Ben's site, from Into the Cryptoverse. And all this is Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, BNB, Solana, and Chainlink, they all spend time in these specific risk bands, right? When things get a little bit too crazy or overheated, that's in the 0.9 to 1.0, and it's only been 18 days. Inversely, It's only been, and that's of course highly, highly overvalued. This is highly, highly undervalued. And that's only 134 days, 0.0, 0.1. So what that looks like, if we take a look at color-coded by risk, let's just take Bitcoin. Let me hide all these, and let's pick the tops, 0.9 to 1. It did pretty good. I mean, 2013, not so. In 2017, it started to call it around 14.8. Not too bad, but you can start taking profits at 14, 15. Over here, where did it hit it? 57,000. I'd be okay with that. And that's just Bitcoin. Now let's pull on like the 0.0. Again, hit some lows. But you can see that it doesn't have any coming over here. You'd have to look at, which again, not too bad. 20,000, 19,000. And of course, if you were buying over here at 22,000, even though that's like one of the lower risk bands, people were laughing at you. Some people were laughing at you going, why are you buying at 22,000? Because don't you know it's going to 12K? Don't you know it's going to 10K? Don't you know it's going?
They were saying like this.
Yeah, everybody was saying that. And I was like, I go, and I just said to myself, and I said to all my fans or my subscribers, I'm like, look, I'm not that smart. So what I do is I take a look at these wristbands and these different indicators, and I just kind of say, well, this is a pretty good time to buy, and I'll increase my buying as it kind of gets a little less risky. And then I'll decrease my buying as we go up. And then when we start to get overheated, that's when I start to take some profits off the table. That's pretty much it.
Do you use, for example, funding rates metric?
No, what's that? You can show me that one?
It will interesting. It will be really interesting for you. You will like it. You will love it. I guess it's different, from the charts you just showed, because of course, maybe first NUPL. Yeah, it's also really interesting, and even if we will, for example, put these lines right here and right here, something like this. So this is really interesting. But funding rates is the metric which is showing whether traders on futures exchanges are betting long or short. And for example, going to the wider interval, 1 week interval, let's take a look at this chart.
Right.
And, we are looking for moments of highest emotions. Highest emotions, including the most positive emotions and most negative emotions. And this is 1 week. Let's take a look at 1 day. All right. So we are looking for the highest moments of fear, just like it was just after FTX collapses, or just after the banks collapses in the US. And on the opposite side, we are looking for the moments of the highest emotions. In my opinion, this is much much harder.
So is this so Julian? Sorry, is this kind of like fear and greed index? Is it like a sentiment analysis?
No, fear and greed index is taking different data, I guess, from Twitter, I guess, from NPL, and different metrics. Is combination, fear and greed index, and this is raw data. This is data from exchanges, not only ones but few exchanges, like Binance, biggest exchanges, in real time, and it is showing whether traders are going long or short, if they are willing to pay for their position, and if they are going to pay high for their long position. This indicator is going higher because they are paying more for keeping longs. If they are paying more for keeping shorts, it is right here, for example, right here. It means that everybody believes that the market will go down. And if everybody believes that something will go up or high or low, of course, it means that most of them probably sold or bought.
Sure. Right? Okay. Yeah. So longs and shorts, I got you.
So it's really interesting. I like it. really,
Yeah,
really
you
much.
you kind of get to see what some of the bigger or the majority of people are thinking, right? Say, are they going to go short? Are they going to go long? Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Sure.
That's a really interesting indicator. Maybe I will show it right here. It will be easier. So this indicator is showing whether traders on Binance or traders on Coinbase are buying. And when it's going blue, traders on Coinbase are buying more. When it's going up, traders on Binance are buying more. And as you can see, there are few moments when traders on Coinbase were buying really, really big. Right here, right here, right here. Let's go logarithmic scale. And let's go to regular scale. And regular scale looks like this. So, for example, 2017, a huge fear of missing out at the top, and huge fear right here. Fear means that Coinbase traders were accumulating right here.
Yeah.
And it is also really interesting indicator. Most of the times it is similar to funding rates, but not 100% similar, but most of the times it's showing such moments of huge accumulation, right? Like, for example, it was right here. So if you are a kind of person who likes this kind of indicators, this might be really interesting for you.
Yeah, that's interesting. I have to take a look at that. Thank you very much.
Yeah. It was a pleasure to talk with you. I believe that 20 minutes right now, 30 minutes, we can finish it right now. But I would love to talk with you more.
Sounds good, Julian.
And talk about many more things. Like I said.
See, that's our cue right there.
I will show you.
All right.
By the way, this is not my dog. It's my fiancée dog.
Ah, you gotta love dogs.
Okay. She just came back. All right.
That's okay. I got mine out there lounging around somewhere.
Awesome. So it was a pleasure to meet you. I will finish live stream right now, and have a great day. And thank you very much. And everybody, remember to go to
Yep, it'll be
Digital
Digital
Asset
Asset
News.
There it is.
Yeah, great YouTube channel. And remember to subscribe.
Thank you, everybody. Been a pleasure. Thanks, Julian.